I guess I was rambling a little there, but in any case, so a note is a note is a note, and obviously, C is the G is the fifth of C. Okay, then we look at the D, which is the major seventh of the key of E flat. Okay, and it's the fourth of D, and then the last but not least, is the root, the E flat itself, where G is the third. So any note is what that note is. It's not going to change, and it can be one of 7 scales according to the dot scale. And those scales, the magic scale or the dot scale is the scale that note with that dot on it is the third of. And you just take major scales off of each scale tone in that major scale, and those are the 7 scales that dot note is one of those 7th degrees in. All right, so the colors aren't going to change. The numbers change. If I had a stencil and can move these numbers anywhere, I would do that and show you that this note right here, this accidental, okay, which is actually, it's actually a low D flat. This could also be considered root if we want to be in the key of D flat. Then we would do root 2 3 would be root 2 3 here, right? The third of D flat being F. So the numbers change, the colors don't change. Now, we're in the key of C. The yellow note is C. Let me get a little... Okay, this will have to do. This is the template for my latest notes, the inlays. And same old, really. I just need to get a look-see at this right here. I'll put me over here. So these are the note colors. Okay, these are what the inlays look like when they're cut out. Okay, and they're all measured down to like a millimeter, half a millimeter, whatever. And I stick them on, get sticky paper and stick them on, and all that. I put tape over them. I'm not selling them because they're a pain to make. It takes me 3 days to get one of them on, But someday I will, hopefully, if there's enough interest. So these are the note colors. If this is a piano, just a little octave of a piano, my big brother, rest his soul, used to play these little piano instruments, where you had an octave control too, so you could, go up and down, make this different octaves. This looks like the kind of thing he would play, You see these guys playing these teeny little instruments and doing great in the bands. The Boogie Nights song, Boogie Nights, and then the guy goes, that thing is just like a little like mini synthesizer thing with one sound or 2 sounds, and he just plays the daylights out of that thing, and that song's great. So these are the colors. So C is yellow, D is purple, light purple, E is green, F is white, G is red, A is supposed to be light blue, and B is supposed to be like that, this colored blue, whatever that. It's a special blue, and then yellow again. Okay, so that's the name of that tune. So these are the colors. So they don't change, the numbers change. Now, for the beginners, let's learn the string shapes. What are the string shapes? The string shapes are always the bottom strings in the cages. So let's draw out the C cage. Let's draw out the root 2 3 cage. E root 2 3. Why is it E? There's E. That's the defining string shape label. Okay, so it would be root 2, 3. That's it. Now, why is the cage cover 4? Why am I not going to play that 4? Okay, I'm down this low. That's why we're looking at this part of the cage, because I'm down C tune. So here's my root -2, but we're not going to play this. I'll tell you one thing, there should be a 4 there. This 4 should be over here. Okay, we're back. So yeah, there's a 4 there. That was just like my bad. I didn't put the 4 there. So we're gonna go root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, and up here with the C string shape 3, 4, 5. All right, then we have a choice, but we don't have a choice because we already played the 5. So we're gonna go 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. So that's why the E or root 2, 3 box includes that 4, because when we get up here, we're going to the next cage. The next cage from E, the next letter in the word cage, C-A-G-E-D, is D, and here's your D-shaped C right there. Okay, so we're going to go into that. So let's look at the string-shaped circle. Okay, we're back. So I've got a little string-shaped circle here. I brought onto this a diagram from another diagram. Okay, so we've got that. The string shapes in fifths go string to string to string. If the bottom string is the C string shape, the next string up is going to be G string shape, the next string up is going to be D, then it's going to be A, then it's going to be E, then it's going to be C. If we're dealing with the long patterns, the A goes A to A here. Okay, I don't want to make a mistake because I'll lose my little diagram here. I don't want to save this one because it's just a plaster of this little diagram we're going to look at. So if we're going to play the long patterns, we go A to A. Here's a little short A there, going up to another short A there, an octave up. Okay, so normally the short string shapes would go C, next string would be G, 6, 7 root, next string would be D, 2, 3, 4. Next string shape would be A, 5, 6 right there for the short string shapes. Okay, the short string shapes are what you'd play if you were playing lead and you're nowhere near Mr. Capo, you're nowhere near the fret nut. You're up here where you can take the chord and extend it down like that, like a slinky. Okay, if you're here at the fret nut here or way down here, let's say at the fret nut, you can't extend this down. So then you have to use the long patterns. The thing about the long patterns is when you get up to the top 2 strings here, you have a choice to either play the pattern out or to go back and pick the pattern up from where the tuning change came in, and you play the same pattern as up here and down. It's called a cutout, but you don't have to do that. You're completely safe just playing the string shapes the way they are. So it's C, G, D, A, E. The word cage goes C, A, G, E, D. It kind of makes a star like that. Let's look at that. C, A, G, E, D. Back to C again. You can't see the star. You can't see the star, but you can. See the star? Star is hard to see. Okay, so this is the long pattern circle. The short pattern circle is just C, G, D, A, E. And remember, the short patterns are if you can play way up here away from the fret nut, then you have your regular caged. C, A,